Hello everyone, how are you? This is Dr. Zeina Al-Aswad from Executive Women. I have today a very, very special guest, Dr. Intisar Haddiya. And before I start our conversation today, I would like to introduce her and very briefly, because there's a lot that she has done. Dr. Intisar is a Moroccan nephrologist and an author. And she's also a professor at the Faculty of Medicine in Oujda, Morocco, and president of an association supporting kidney failure patients in the Oriental region of Morocco. Her first essays and short stories were published by Cambridge University Press between 1999 and 2005. And her novels, Si Dieu nous prête vie, L'inconnu, ou Trahison pieuse, and her collection Au fil des songes have enjoyed remarkable success. Her newest book, Un si long chemin, that she has with her, now she's going to tell us more about her books, also is one of her latest creations. أهلا وسهلا فيكي دكتور انتصار. Welcome to Executive Women, and thank you for having this talk with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be here today in this meeting, I would say.
Thank you for being with us. So tell me, first of all, before we start, tell me about your newest concoction, your newest creation, Un si long chemin.
Yes. This is my new book, Si long chemin, So long path in English. This is a novel. It tells the story of two women. I mean, the main characters are two ladies who did overcome tragedies and dramas in their lives. One has got drama in her personal life, and the other one in the professional life. I mean, in a firm, and they did survive to this. They did overcome the difficulties and the adversity, and they built what we call resilience. So these are models of resilient ladies who, and through these characters, have shown that it's possible to overcome the hardships in life and to succeed and this is the message, I mean, the main message of this novel.
Very interesting and really so appealing in this time and age, specifically in this time and age, in all the atrocities and the hardships that everyone is going through, actually, all over the world. When we talk about resilience and grit, how important it is to start nourishing that from a very early age, and something that in many educational systems in the world, and especially from where we come from, the Middle East is non-existent. So I think, and that is wonderful. Is this based on any true story or anything or anyone, or it's
well,
just
this is a fiction. Yeah, this is a fiction, but you know, as any social novel, it's based on the reality. You get inspired by the reality to write and to construct these characters, and I mean, here the idea was to show the readers, and especially young women, that it's possible to survive to the worst dramas. I mean, there are some people who are brought up in a environment, in a family, for example, in which they learn how to be strong and how to be resilient and how to keep on walking, to keep on despite all the difficulties. But what I show through the different chapters is that even those who did not were not lucky to be brought up this way, it's not a problem. We can acquire these these competencies through life if we want to. It's all about well, first of all, it's a choice. It's a choice not to succumb to failure and to resist, to accept the difficulty and to try to understand the message behind it.
Yes,
This is
absolutely.
what I show.
From an emotional intelligence standpoint, or we say experiences create who we are, and emotional intelligence peaks at around the age of 48, generally between both genders, men and women. However, these experiences will increase your emotional intelligence, and the path to those experiences, as you said, comes from the background and what you're equipped with, like what you are really equipped with, not genetically, but how you have been forged, I think, with parental guidance or the environment you have been in or whatever you have been exposed to. So definitely, wonderful,
But
wonderful
I've
that.
shown here, yeah. I've shown here that the relationships and the connections we do have in life do help in this to build resilience. For example, one of the characters has a friend who helped her through the hardship, and the other one has got a loving husband who was by her side. But it was not enough. She had to seek therapy and to seek help from specialists. So basically, what I show here is that there are so many ways to overcome the difficulty.
I
That's
love what you're
the
saying.
yeah,
I
yeah,
really love what you're saying in terms of help. See, that is a key issue that
yeah.
especially with many, many women, they don't reach out for help. And they actually stay and think they can do it all. So thank you for sharing that about one of your characters, both of them actually, that we all need help. All of us, we need help in life. Uh, uh, be it professional or otherwise. But for us, just saying that there is help out there is very important.
But we
So,
should have the courage to seek help. It takes
yes,
courage to say, okay, I cannot deal with it by myself, and I need another advice, and I need help. Now there is specialist help that is out there. It's
yes,
therapy. I've shown that. So the first lady, I mean the first character, her name is Nadia. She's strong. She had a loving husband by her side, as I said, but it took her 40 years to overcome the drama she got in her youth. She became an author once she retired, and she wrote, and literature helped her out with her problem. But it was not enough. Again, it was not enough. It did help for sure, and it's the help of a therapist did. I would say, help her to understand what's really happened and to be at peace with herself.
yes, yes, I got you. Can you share a bit about your journey? How did you balance the diverse roles as a nephrologist, as a professor, as a writer, and really what inspired you to take on so many responsibilities?
Well, it's not something I really thought about. It started at a very early age. I was a child and I loved reading. I grew up in an environment in which I was surrounded by books. You know, my parents are very, very highly educated people, and there were books all around me when I was a child. So I've learned to read at a very, very early age, and I've started appreciating nice stories and nice books. And I had the chance, I'd say, or I was lucky enough to I would say to meet with writers through their books, through their novels, and I really love that. And I've started writing at a very early age too. My parents were very encouraging. I used to participate in contests when I was young and got some prizes. And of course, I was stimulating. I was very encouraging. So I kept on reading and writing. And you know, we get to writing from reading. This is the path.
Yes, sure.
So I kept on writing, and at the age of 17, I've signed my first contract for short stories and essays with Cambridge University Press. I was so happy, so proud. My parents were very
As
encouraging,
you
so
should
proud too.
be. As
Yeah.
you should be.
Yeah, so it was the start of my opening, I'd say, to the world of the edition. But my first novel was only issued some years ago. I've published my first novel in 2016, and it was in French. Well, I mostly write in French. And it was about dialysis patients. The scene, I mean, all the scenes of the novels took place in a dialysis room, but it was not a book or a novel about the disease or about the dialysis itself. It was about these people showing that they do have dreams, they do have a life beside their illness. They keep on projecting themselves in the future and making projects, and which is something we most of the time forget about. We see them as people linked to a machine for life, for survival, but then they do have feelings, they do have emotions. I portrayed some love stories in that dialysis room, and in fact, the whole book was a way to plead for organ donation, especially kidney donation, in order to enable them to have a close to normal life. So that was my first novel as a nephrologist, and it was well received by the readers and the critics and my colleagues too. And then after that, I've almost each year, I published a new novel about most of the times women are my main characters. I write about the female condition in my country, and it's very, very interesting. It's really interesting to focus on women and to make them leaders in my novel. I mean, not leaders with the usual meaning, but main characters, so that the reader can delve deeper into their journey and to understand the way they how to say that, the challenges they face and the efforts they make to remain stronger despite all the difficulties. So my second novel was L'Inconnu. That was translated to Arabic, Al-Ghariba, and it's one of my most popular novels. It's the story of a strong woman that I admire, that I really admire. She had very terrible difficulties, but she kept on fighting and staying strong for her kid. And she had the end, was happy, because she succeeded in bringing up her daughter despite despite her poverty, despite so many hardships she faced in the
Wow.
journey. So that's L'Inconnu. After that, there was Trahison Pieuse, Pious Treason. Yeah, it's that's a social novel too. It's a disturbing story, but it's inspired from the reality. That's also that did disturb some readers, some others did enjoy it, but this is the literary work. It gave
Absolutely.
us it gave us the opportunity to discuss some aspects of society that we don't always appreciate, that we would like not to see sometimes. But and it was a real opportunity to discuss this with my readers. And I wrote also other books that were not novels. There is Au fil des songes. That's it. That was translated to In the Course of Dreams. This is I'd say, a bouquet of poems and texts about. These are reflections about life, about the meaning, of life, the good and evil, justice, and things like that. So there was also another book that was an academic book. It's about Africa. It's about social responsibility in health in Africa. This is based on a PhD thesis that I've worked on in the last decade, I'd say. It took me many years, but the findings were very interesting, I mean, for scholars.
Well,
So
that's
that's
amazing. How did you have all the time to do all of that and be a
because I'm
mother?
passionate. Because I'm passionate about that. I to me this is not a job. This is not something. I mean, I have no kind of pressure to do that. I do it because I like it, because
Love it.
I'm passionate about that. Writing novels brings balance to my life, as I always say. I like to describe, to construct characters, and to tell the stories, and to make them interact. And through these characters, I can tell a lot of messages, and I can focus on so many things related to women condition in our society.
Mm.
So it makes me feel good about myself when I do that. When I write a chapter, for example, when I write some pages, this is really it has to do with my wellness.
Yeah, that's so I wanted to say that it seems that it has to do with your well-being and balance. You mentioned balance.
Yes,
Um,
yeah.
can you tell me exactly how?
Um, you know,
Because you do know that writing is a form of therapy that for many people it's in what we call different modalities of therapy. Writing is one modality, art is another modality, dance is another
yeah,
modality. So,
absolutely.
but for Dr. Intisar, how is this serving you in balance and well-being?
Literature is a therapy. I mean, in general, when you read, for example, a book, you read a novel, and you identify with the characters you read about, you have some perspective. You see them fighting for survival, fighting to find solutions, and you put yourself in their shoes, and you say, what would I have done if I was this young lady, if I was that person? And it makes you think about your own life, about your own journey. And you see, when you read different books, you see different solutions, how people do act when facing a certain problem. So it
Yeah.
helps with your own problems in your life. And because I don't know if you read about that, I'm sure you know about that. In life, the wounds in your life are universal.
Mhm.
It's about humiliation, about rejection, about the pain is
Yeah,
mostly
yeah.
fear, yeah, fear, anger, and all of this is universal. So when you have many authors from various nationalities in various languages, they write about a same emotion, about a same problem, but the solutions do vary from a culture to another. This is enriching. It
Very much
makes
so.
Yeah, it widens your horizons. So facing a single problem, you see how for example, a Russian author is going to find the solution, how the American one is going to do, how the Arab writer is doing. And it's very, very interesting. So this way, I think that that the fact of reading makes you gain in maturity, makes you get some perspective, and understand maybe more in depth about the human emotion, and you got a whole spectrum of solutions that are available, and it helps a lot with one's life when you
So
do right. Mm,
so what I'm hearing is you have a more in-depth um, introspection about who you are by
clearly,
looking at different solutions when you're doing the reading and when you are writing, then
yeah.
it activates.
And when you are writing, you try to find solutions. You try to find a way for your characters. So you think and yeah. And sometimes you see that you cannot come up with something that did not happen in the real life, and you understand that life is well made after all. Okay, the reality, despite all the things we dislike about it, is well made, and you
Yes.
understand it more. So it really helps. And another thing about writing is that you meet with the readers, and this is enriching too. And you get the critics. You know, my mom always says, because she's, as I said, very educated, but she does not write novels. I always tell her, why don't you? She says, but you know, it's not up to anyone to, you don't just write novels. You need to have two qualities. You need to be generous in order to share, and you need courage. It takes courage to write and to be exposed to the critics, exposed and meet the readers. And to her, it takes courage to do that. You see,
Absolutely. You're
because
going to
she
be criticized, of course.
yeah, because we get criticized. This is normal. Some are going to appreciate, others won't,
Oh,
or
yeah.
feel disturbed. And but to me, this what makes. I feel that each critic has something constructive in it. So I'm always very cautious, and I listen attentively to all the critics I get, because to me this is something good that can make my writing even better.
You know, it's very interesting to me that you say that, because as an expert in human behavior and coaching, and you know, I deal with clients all day long and patients, and um, the way you are thinking has a positive vibe to it. And this vibe and positivity, because say this to any other person, and you're going to be criticized. And the people that have not dealt with their fear, that have not dealt with their anger, with all of these universal emotions that you have just talked about, that growth by itself is so important, because if you are not able to do that growth, you're not going to be able to put yourself out there and to be criticized and to take that critic as a constructive criticism that will push you forward. As coaches, we say we need to discomfort ourselves. We need to discomfort ourselves for growth. We need
Yeah.
to help our clients
Yeah.
do that, because in that you
Mm.
create more glory and more light in your life, because you are going to deal with those atrocities, but do you know how to? So that positivity streak that you have is so much it shows the growth that you are in and where you are, and that is the courage you're talking about. And
You know, I guess that literature, sorry to interrupt, I feel that literature triggers the growth. I mean, reading so many authors and trying to write and construct your characters and to make them strong, it triggers growth.
because you found your
Okay.
thing. That's your thing. And what you're
Mm.
saying is, for all the women out there
Mm.
that love that, like they have that passion of writing, because that is your thing and it helps you grow.
Mm.
For another would be art,
Mm.
for another would be dancing,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
another would be, so that is what made you grow, and it's keeping your growth and helping you to balance your life and your well-being. And that is so amazing. Really, it is
Mm.
amazing. And you know what? I do have a book club, and it will be an honor for you to be one, maybe next year, to be part of that book club. Just to as a guest of honor, we will read your book maybe for one month with the ladies, and then have you as a guest of honor, if that is
Mm.
something you can do also. That would be great.
I'd be so glad. I'd be so glad.
So, so that growth that we talked about, Not many women have the ability to do that. So what do you say for many women that are really balancing with multiple tasks, multiple responsibilities? What is it that you will give them as an advice in basically trying to do it all from your perspective?
From my perspective, it takes passion first, okay, to dream, to be passionate, but more importantly, to have self-discipline. It's very, very important. Self-discipline, I mean, it's what enables you to do the things you're willing to do without procrastinating. This is very, very important, because when you come back home after a long day at work, you got the kids, they have homeworks to do, you got things like that, then maybe you'd feel a little bit lazy or a little bit tired, and you'd say, well, maybe I'm not going to write today, maybe I'm not going to do this today. And if you want to be a writer, I mean a real writer, you should try to write every day or as much as you can. Writers who only do that do have routines. I don't have the luxury to have routines, but I write as much as I can because it makes me joyful. It brings this balance, and it helps me finish my story, go through it and finish it. And this is in itself a reward. So I spoke about self-discipline. Self-discipline, you need it when you do my job, for example, to be a doctor and to keep on being updated, because I'm not only a consultant, I'm a professor of medicine. I teach medicine. I'm involved in research with my team, and I should be updated in my specialty, of course, because I also teach and direct a PhD thesis. So, in order to do all that, you should be organized and have a to-do list. In the morning, I do have a to-do list. I start always by doing the things I dislike first. Okay.
Yes.
I start with the things. I've read that in so many books, and I've listened to podcasts about that, and it does work. I start with the things I really hate first when I'm at the peak of my energy, and then I do what I really like after that. And to me, it's like a reward. Something else, I take action every day. As I've said, I write every day. I work on my, on my medical updates every day. I take time. It could be a short time, but it should take place every day. For example, I can write I can keep on writing my story, my novel, either early in the morning, okay, or late at night. But it could be 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, it's fine. In the weekend or during vacation, I can write intensively. I mean, I can have more time to go with my writing. And I feel very, very happy about that. To me, it's just like a gift, having this time, all this time to write on Saturday, for example. I feel like I won the lottery. To me, it's a real gift, you see. And I always tell myself, Olympic athletes train every day. Great artists train every day. So if you want to do something really of a good quality, it should be with taking action every single day.
Absolutely.
And to feel well about that, and to feel that there is no pressure. It's not a job. It's something I like. It's something that makes me happy. But I take the time to do it. I do sports too. I mean, I work up every day. I take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but it should be done every day because it's very, very important for my health. Because I cannot imagine doing so many things and being unhealthy. It does not match. One should
Yeah.
take care of. I mean, we should take care of our health. And by health, I mean the physical health, the mental health, the psychological health. Very, very important. And sport has a lot to do with that. What else? I guess the other things I want to focus on is uh, not to be discouraged easily. You know, this is something I've learned with literature. When you know you can write a book, you write a story that you're very proud of, you send it to an editor and it gets rejected. This
Mhm.
is something that happens so much, but it does not mean that the story is bad. Sometimes maybe sometimes you should work on it more, it's possible, but then don't take the rejection as a refusal and as to let it stop you, because I know some people who, when confronted to the rejection, they stop what they're doing, they say, okay, this is not for me. No, uh, never listen to the no, just feel that this is just a delay, not a refusal, and keep
Mhm.
on working. Look for things to improve the story, for example, to improve the book. And this could be extrapolated to all areas of life. Don't get discouraged easily. Be persistent. Life loves the persistent people, people with goal, people that do have an inner strength. This is very important.
Yes.
So this is how I
There's
deal with.
so many gems that you are listing. I would like to reflect on one of them when you were talking about your to-do list and
Mm,
uh, saying that we start with the things that we dislike and then do the things that we like. From a neuroscience perspective, when we do things that we dislike or we don't know how to do,
mm,
it what really this means to the brain is that it's creating a new pathway. So it's a
mm,
new neuronal pathway that's being created, and to do that, it takes more effort. But when we do things that we like, the pathway has always already been created. So that's why it's easier. And it makes so much sense that we do it in the morning or we do it at the time when we are at our peak. For you, it's in the morning. Some people are
yeah.
night beings. But it is so interesting that this is what it means, and it helps us understand that we can do whatever we want to do at any age because of this
Absolutely.
neuroplasticity. And it's very important also that we persist, because with repetition, also the wiring is being created, and when we create that wiring, it becomes easier and easier. It's like the muscles and going to the gym. It's the same concept
Mm,
altogether.
absolutely.
So thank you for
Absolutely.
that.
To give you examples, to give you a concrete example, for example, in the hospital, I'd start with the case, with the hardest case, maybe. I work on the hardest case and then I move on to the easiest one. You
Yes.
see, when I have tasks to do, I start with the hardest task. Once I achieve it, I feel fine, and then I can do the other ones. This is
We
how I
can
do
we
it.
can we can spend hours talking, you and I, but for the sake of the talk, because they're gonna cut us off eventually, because they're gonna take I think not more than 30 minutes. I would like to ask you what is it what is it that you want our audience to remember from this talk?
To remember, there are so many things, but mm, I would say be passionate, believe in yourself. Failure does not exist, it's just a delay. And be resilient. It's very important. Make the choice to be resilient. Don't let life beat you up. And difficulties and hardship are not the end. Always keep on moving forward, and success is possible. Is always possible at any age.
And thank you. And what's next for you? What are your upcoming projects?
My upcoming projects is keep writing as much as I can.
Living your passion. Living your passion. Living
Living
your
my passion, absolutely.
Well, I want to thank you so much for being with us today and for giving us from your time and your wisdom and your gems. I'm always excited to meet so inspiring women from all over the world. It's a privilege always, and I don't take it lightly. Thank you. And I hope our audience will benefit from our little conversation today, for them to keep moving forward, for them to pursue passion, persistence, being on spot and living their life to the fullest, because they can. And please reach out for support. If you don't have the support needed, reach out for us, because we can help you and provide you with the support. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.